So, hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra Kaye, and I am sitting here with Donovan, a recovering Democrat Sadiq. And this is the Demetra Kaye Show, also known as the podcast. We are not live right now, but we will be back live later for the 5 p.m. Central Time show. That'll be streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm thinking about Instagram, although I don't know just yet. But anyway, the purpose of the Demetra Kaye Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community, with the emphasis on to make us a better people, with the emphasis on, even because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. And so welcome to everybody that will be in the chat. We have a few subjects that we're going to talk about today. On Tuesdays, our podcast, we try to talk about relationship stuff more. And then, of course, with the live show, we'll talk about maybe politics or even sometimes relationships. But nevertheless, we got 3 topics for you today. And I know that you will enjoy it. But in the meantime, Donovan, what say you?
Hey, welcome you guys to the podcast. Great to have you guys back. Demetra, your numbers are going up. They're looking great. Do us a favor, as your way in, hit that like button so we can get the algorithm up and everything like that. If you look at the bottom here, we have a scrolling banner. If you would like to contribute to keep us going and keep Demetra motivated to make these great videos, you can do so right then and there. Also, please, a lot of people, Demetra asked me, they go, are you part of the Africa Diaspora News Channel? I said, no, but I'm a big supporter of it, and Brother Phil and all that you guys do there. Do us a favor. We have an app. They have an app there, the Africa Diaspora News Channel app. You could download it on Google Play and also the Apple Store. And that way we could talk it up, chat it up, do everything we got to do. And you can see individual videos and be notified when they post videos. Demetra Kaye, Brother Phil, Wongel, Vicky Dillard. There's another new lady that you guys have on the show. I forgot her name.
We have Emma, we have Enduro, we have Enchanted Soul.
Right. I mean, so the platform is growing, and it's not only just talking about what's happening in the African diaspora here in the United States. It's talking about what's going on in Africa and across the world in general. So I think that's a great thing to keep people informed, because there's nothing worse than a non-informed person who doesn't really know what they're talking about, and they're going by the American media. And speaking of the American media, I just want to also add, by joining this channel, you're actually getting real news versus corporate media news, the stuff that they don't want you to talk about. So very important stuff. So go ahead and download that. You can also go on the internet. It's africandiasporanews.org. Sign up there. That's where I've signed up, and I keep updated on what's going on in the African diaspora through that web.
Absolutely. So please and thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started for the sake of time. I actually saw this trending, and sorry if I'm kind of going a little bit slow. Y'all know how this thing works. It'll warm up, I guess. But anyway, there's this question that was recirculating, if you will, asking, why aren't men obsessed with women the way they used to be, or something like that. And this video I'm about to show you is of a particular woman. She was answering the question. And so Donovan and I are going to say whether we agree, disagree, or, whatever the case is. I should also say here that in Texas, our weather is really weird. We are on what they call tornado watch. We have been since yesterday. And today the weather's kind of cold, and it's going to be into the teens like a day or two next week. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. It's windy today, so hopefully it doesn't affect us here too much. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm going to show you this video of this woman answering the question as to why men aren't obsessed with women the way they used to be. And then Donovan, as a man, could, vouch whether that is true or not. So here we go.
Facebook, and basically it says men are not obsessed with women like they used to be. Y'all don't find that kind of weird? And to be honest, no, I don't find that kind of weird, because what exactly is there for men to be obsessed with in today's world? Women have left no room for imagination, none whatsoever. It's like your sense of entitlement is out of control. Your expectations are unrealistic. Y'all walk around showing your bodies half dressed, half exposed 24/7, out smoking, drinking, partying 24/7, on the scene 24/7. A lot of y'all are not even coming with nothing to the table because you're too busy with your hand out trying to see what man got the next bag so he can sponsor your lifestyle to make you look like you're living a lifestyle to post on the internet. It's like a lot of y'all don't have common sense. A lot of y'all don't know how to hold a conversation. A lot of y'all don't have no originality about yourselves. Everybody is getting the same body. Everybody is getting the same hairstyle. Everybody looks the exact same. And it's like y'all get that confused. Oh, well, men like that. No, men will fuck that. But men are not wiping that and they're not cuffing that. And I think y'all are starting to realize that. And then the first thing y'all want to say is, oh, well, they're gay, they're sassy. No, they're not. They're just tired of what you guys are presenting. And if y'all are here to give them free pussy, free looks, and free everything they ain't got to work for, why would they? But they're never going to take you serious. So it seems to me like a lot of y'all are now starting to realize that you're either losing value or have lost value from chasing attention. And now that's something that y'all got to deal with, and y'all can't face that fact. Men love women that are exclusive, women that are put up, women that every man can't say he had or can have. Simple as that.
All right, so that's from Chevy Caprice. Sorry about some of the language. She said a couple of spicy words, but we're all adults here, so hopefully it doesn't ruffle your feathers too much. Donovan, what's your take on what you just heard?
Has she been following my channel? I got to look at my guest list and stuff, because I've been saying that for years. Everything she said right there for the real men, that's exactly what we're talking about. What is exclusive about you clones? You guys all look alike. You're all dressed alike. You all have the same excuses. Oh, I wear my hair because it's a protect. Bullshit. We don't want to hear all that. We don't like men. Real men tell you exactly what we want and how we want it, and you guys refuse to listen. This is why guys are getting up their passports and they're going overseas and finding women that will comply or just be themselves. We want natural women. We want women that don't have high body counts. We don't. Oh, but if men can do it, we should. No, ladies. No. When a woman has a high body count, that is not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That's not. Nobody's wifing that up. No doubt, guys will sleep with you. That's a fact. We don't care how many body counts you got. If you're just there for fun, it's just fun. But everything she said is true, because in my community, in my neighborhood, I see in some of my friends, that I know they ain't got it. They ain't got it like that. But you will see them on Instagram, which is an addiction within itself, the social media. They will be on there living a life. Fellas, if you knew what roach-infested apartment this woman lived in, you would be like, wait a minute, is this the same person? It is the same person. So yeah, I mean, she's telling it right. But here's the good thing about this, Demetra. A lot of women are waking up. And I want you guys to understand the difference between real men and feminized men. In my opinion, feminized men, and there's nothing wrong with men being raised by female-led households. I was led by a widowed mother. But my brother and I, we are so damn alpha, it's ridiculous. So don't tell me women can't raise real men. They can raise real men. They can't raise men, but they could raise men with standards and all that other stuff to be traditional men. And we were raised to be traditional men. So we have two generations of young men that have taken on feminine traits. This is why you see these men are accepting of all this bullshit. Oh, there's nothing wrong with her having her hair. Oh, she get her nails. Oh, no, those are feminized men. Period.
So just to reiterate what she said, and I was writing fast. She basically said men aren't obsessed over women the way they used to be. And this is her opinion, simply because the women have a false sense of entitlement. The way they're dressing nowadays, the drugs and the drinking. They're interested in getting a bag. They do not know how to hold a conversation. They have no value, or the way they used to. They're too busy chasing attention. Also, a lot of women are getting BBLs, stuff like that, augmenting their bodies. And then she also said that they are not exclusive. So I guess basically they have a high body count is what she was alluding to. I'm not a man, so I cannot answer as to why men aren't obsessed with women anymore. And I guess I would have to even delve a little bit further. Like, what does it mean to be obsessed? Now, I will tell you, I'm one that listens to R&B songs back in the day, right? Not the stuff they talking about now, but I know you want to leave me, all that other stuff. Ain't too proud of it. Those songs I like to listen to. And so I often ask questions to people, if whoever I'm around or whatever, why don't they make songs like that no more? When the man was like, ooh, baby, please, baby, please, and it does seem like men aren't obsessed. So when I think of it in those terms, maybe like that, But then when I think about it in modern day terms, again, I'm not a man, so I can only just think about it from my point of view. You have a lot of men in the last couple of years have been told that they are the prize. Now, y'all know, Demetra, Kaye, how I feel about that. When I hear a man say he is the prize, I think my mind goes somewhere else. Like he wants to also be carried over the threshold. You know, he wants her to get on one knee and propose to him. That's kind of where my mind goes. It just does. Okay. So I think that has a little bit to do with it. And I also think, yeah, there's some women, not all, that kind of taint that for men. But I think about, when I think about that question, I think about what she's saying, and I think about what you're saying, because I think there's validity to all of it. Those women would not be doing, a lot of them would not be doing what they're doing if it wasn't a reason, if there wasn't a man somewhere that is acquiescing that stuff. Because yeah, there's some men, and I would say a lot of men, that don't want a woman with a BBL, but there's a lot of men who got women with BBLs and the wigs and the nails and the, oh honey, I want to go eat in the bag and all this other stuff. There's a lot of men, and see, because I'm gonna tell y'all from this point of view too, I'm a very highly intelligent woman. I'm not too bad on the eyes, you know, but I will tell you that men don't typically go for women like me. They don't. Y'all can say, oh, I'm looking for a smart woman. I'm looking for a cute woman, you know, all that other stuff. But y'all don't typically end up with women like me. Y'all typically end up with women that's doing the drinking, that's smoking the weed, that's, you know, with the BBLs, and they ain't got nothing to talk about. I don't know. Who's the president of the United States? I don't know. You know,
Dingbats. Go ahead.
Dingbats. Yeah. Y'all like the dingbats. You know what I'm saying? So some of that is on y'all. I'm not saying it's totally y'all fault, but I'm saying, for if I was a woman that act like that, I'm doing that for y'all. You know what I mean? I'm doing that. I didn't. Oh gosh, I didn't. Oh, well, I don't know what day it is. Is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Y'all like women like that, you know. So, and as far as y'all not being obsessed anymore, again, it goes back to y'all being taught you the prize. Yeah, that has something to do with some mamas maybe spoiling the boys, and it has something to do with some women. When they get a man, he's not as capable of doing certain things. And so as I've been taught, and I've studied a lot about it, there's a counterbalance. So when a man is not as masculine as he should be, then that woman steps up and she becomes more masculine. But if that man is walking in his masculinity, then that woman is going to sit in her femininity. So there's got to be a balance. So with that being said, there's some, not a lot, I'm just saying some. There's some men out there that aren't as masculine as they need to be. I'm not saying they're gay. I'm saying they're not as masculine. They're not doing what the men of yesteryear, even the men of my generation, the men of my father's generation, they not. They don't even know how to turn a screw to turn nothing on nowadays. And so a woman that's with a man like that, she's like, let me roll my sleeves up. Let me, you know, step into the role of a man. So that robs y'all, and I'm saying y'all in general, of the ability to even want a woman, because in some cases you think you are one. Hello?
You know what, Demetra, I'm going to agree with everything you just said there, because let's just make it real. You've known me for a long time. Would you categorize me as the men that you would say are kind of, you know, weak-minded?
No, I don't think you're weak-minded at all.
Well, I'm talking about, I mean, would you categorize me as a alpha male?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, because I stand on my square, right?
I would say alpha chauvinistic.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being alpha chauvinistic, because I believe men have a certain role and women have a certain role, right?
See, now, before you go on, and the other thing is you can back that up, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you can back all. Yeah, I'm looking for a woman. I don't need her to do nothing, but just come on in, make my house a home, and so you can back that up.
Kitchen or the bedroom, right? Exactly.
But I'm saying you ain't talking about she need to go out there and get a job and pay half the bills. And
yeah, I'm not doing no, baby. We be 50-50. And don't get me wrong, we know in the modern age there's a lot of pressure to provide and do all these things, and you know, and we live in an age today where it is 50-50. But are there still men? Like I said, you know, I was pretty much crafted. My brother and I were pretty much crafted after my grandfather, my mom's father. traditional men, we ain't taking no bullshit. I stand on my square. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Yeah, we can have fun. We can do this. We can do that. But I'm old school, because when people say, "Oh, he's chauvinistic," that's not a bad thing in all aspects. To me, a chauvinist is really bad is when you like discriminate against a woman because she's a woman. Well, hey, I'll give you the shot to do this. I'll give you the shot to, I'm not like that chauvinist. If you want to go out there and think that you could, go and, do something that men do, hey, go right on ahead and look foolish doing it. But, I'll give you that opportunity. But my thing is about roles. But I'm going to agree with you wholeheartedly that the fact of the matter is the reason why men today are not obsessed with women is exactly what that young lady said. We're seeing everything. We're going outside. When we were coming up, Demetra, girls were dressed to the stars and just, to the nine, almost like nuns. And then you'd be like, wow, man, I know that girl's fine. You have to look at their shape and you just be like, wow, I wonder, it stimulated our mind. Now the women are coming out, you could see everything. So if there's nothing to desire, why would I be thirsting after a woman if I can see everything that I want to see? And then if this woman has that mindset when I'm initially meeting her, is that wife material for me? Because think about it, fellas. How hard is it? Okay, if you wife this woman up, how hard is it going to be for you to get her to put some damn clothes on? If you met her when she didn't have any clothes on, it's going to be super hard for her to change her behavior. She's got to want to change her behavior. That's why when guys, I'm glad you kind of brought that up, Demetra. No, guys, we're not after women like you. Not because you're not feminine, not because you're not a dingbat or nothing like that, but you give. If people really got to know you, and I've known you for a long time, if they really got to know you, they would know you're the total package. They would know that, but they've got to get to know you to do that. It's too much of an effort sometimes. Some of these guys, they want instant satisfaction right then and there. I give it a week. I give it, whatever. But fellas, and I'm going to tell you, I've known this woman for a long time. It's going to take a while, but she's the total package. Her sister's the total package. But you're going to have to spend some time and effort to unwrap that package. And a lot of guys don't want to take the time to do that when you got Susie Dingbat right here that's showing you everything that you can see right now. The path of least resistance. But I would tell people like this. In a lot of my aspects, everybody knows I love hood rat girls. I love the fun girls, whatever. But everybody also knows I ain't marrying. Most of the women that I have dealt with are on my level. They're educated, intelligent, whatever. And notice that those women and I bump heads. We bump heads, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work out, whatever, because they realize, oh damn, this guy's a serious alpha. He means what he says. So again, Demetra, and it's sad, but the fact of the matter is, why would we be excited over something that we can see every day? The market is flooded with women that are just throwing themselves out there. And then why would we get excited when we don't even know if this is a man or a trans? We can't even tell anymore. We can't even tell. Sometimes I look at some of these women out there. That's the first thing that comes to my mind in the modern age. I wonder if that's a woman or is that a man? Because they look alike. And then I'm going to tell you this, fellas. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe Demetra, you might know. When a supposed woman looks really good, I'm talking about she looks good. For some reason, that's a trans. They look better than the women.
I don't know
in a lot of
about all
cases.
that now. I don't know if they.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just talking about when they're really made up and stuff. It's like, this is why men, real men, we want to see you in your natural state. I'll give you another example. Demetra right now, she's in her natural state. Natural. She could enhance, and she enhances, it's going to even be better, right, fellas? But this is a natural state. But we're not even seeing that when we see some of these women out here. We're not seeing their natural state. And that's the problem why we're not excited. It's like, it is what it is.
Yeah. And then, when I think about a man being obsessed anymore, is he like, I think of a new car, you know what I mean? Because I have a friend, back in the day when I was working at Frito-Lay, and he, cheated on his wife quite a bit. And I'd asked him, I said, why are you cheating on your wife? She's a lovely woman. Y'all got children. She loves you. He says, I love her. I'll never leave my wife. And I'd probably do something to her if I found out she was doing it to me. But it says it's like the new car theory. He says, you get a new car, it's shiny, it's new, it smells good, and you want to drive it and stuff. He says, but after a while, it wears off. The newness is not there. And then, you just kind of want to, So he says, that's to me, I like the new car feel. And so when I think of that scenario, I think of that's probably true for a lot of men, especially nowadays. They don't really get to know the woman. So maybe they're temporarily obsessed with this woman, because what she presents to be. Oh, she got a big old booty, this, that, and the other. But then when you start to peel back the layers of this woman, it's like, well, I'm not that obsessed anymore. She's just a big booty. She can't hold a conversation, and this is the problem that I have too. Like for all the things that the lady said, the drinking, the drugs, and all this, that, and the other, most of the time, y'all know that woman doing all of that. Even if it's something y'all don't like, she's, smoking weed. That ain't your thing, but you're going to put up with it. But then you spend your whole relationship trying to get her to quit. It's like, why are you trying to get her to quit weed? She was doing that probably long before you, going to do it after you. Instead of you going down or finding a woman or a man, whatever it is, a woman that's not going to be doing those things. You try to change that woman, and my advice to anybody is you shut up and take a toke. I don't do it, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So a lot of that is y'all be knowing these women who they are, but so I guess the obsession is probably temporarily, and then it's like, whatever. But like I said, when I think of the R&B songs of yesterday about how the men really just loved women, 100 ways, all of that kind of stuff.
I love you.
Yes, yeah, you like, tell me more. Yes, yeah, yes, love's gonna last forever, all of that.
Love changes.
Man, you think about it, that attitude doesn't seem like it's there anymore. And I think that has a lot to do with the woman as well. The woman, when she presents herself, like I said, I for the life of me don't understand why a woman will go on a first date with all of that out and the legs showing, and then when you're talking nasty and disgusting. So it's like, this man ain't trying to get to know you past tonight, so women aren't giving a man anything to be obsessed about. Hell, nowadays, and Walter talk about this all the time. Y'all can go on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and see a woman naked all day long. And then, God forbid, I ain't telling y'all to do it. You go on Twitter, you can see even more than that, So y'all are not excited anymore. Like you said back in the day, y'all, when girls and women dress, we had on clothes, but you could tell she had a little cute little bump, little nice shape or whatever. But now you go outside, you seeing legs, thighs, breasts, booty, everything is like, could have had a V8.
Yeah, what's it called? A 304 uniform, stripper uniforms. They're all dressing like that. And, it's really sad when you see, and another reason is with the Me Too movement and all these things that go against men. And it's really sad nowadays. And I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. When you're young and there's that girl that's in the neighborhood and she's kind of a fun girl and everything like that. I was really sitting there thinking, I was watching CNN or one of these stupid shows. And I was sitting there thinking, where I'm at today, if a woman that I had fun with when I was younger, let's say I was 20 in the military, you're younger, whatever the deal is, that woman could come back today and say, hey, we were at a party, I was a little drunk, everybody was drunk, and I feel that I'm assaulted. So men are in a point to where we're like, we don't even want to be involved. It's like, we don't even want to approach you guys anymore because it is dangerous for us that you could come back at us and, put us in a civil lawsuit. I mean, look what happened in New York. I mean, these are things that really make men be cautious. But at the same time, men, this is what I say. If at any time you need to get married and get you one trampoline that you can bounce on whenever you need to bounce on it, it's now during this time. It is to me horrific to be single at my age, and if you're in a mature age, running around nowadays. Because let's say you're a man, you're out there making six figures, whatever, and it ain't like back in the day, Demetra, we can go have fun and it's no big deal. You're making six figures, you're a target. You are now a target, and relationships now, Demetra, are transactional. There are some that are still romantic and stuff like that. You're an old romantic head, but in general, relationships are transactional. Listen to what the young people are listening to. Listen how the young women are talking. Oh, you got to be with me. You got to just Venmo me, PayPal me something, before you can even talk to me. It's crazy. It's crazy. And like we were saying just before we came on this show, the government's going to be looking at this. Because remember, I said this years ago when they legalized marijuana, it won't be long before they legalize prostitution, because everything now is transactional. And unfortunately, ladies, you guys are delusional when you think that your cootie cat is worth $500, $700. The market is flooded. Now, I'm not a very educated man, but I did take economics, and I happen to know when the market is flooded, the value of a commodity goes down, not up. So that's where we're at in today's thing, and I just don't see how women would think we would be excited about what is going on nowadays in the dating market. It's very sad. And the women that are a little older and by themselves for some reason, the funny thing is, in the end, a lot of us, even as me as an older man, I realize getting old by myself, that is not the business. That is not I need somebody to go to my medical appointments and my dental appointments and do those things. Colonoscopy. I need somebody to, because they're going to put you under. I mean, even for the smallest thing you think is no big deal, it is a big deal because you might not wake up. This is where we're at.
That as a woman, that sounds so sexy to me. Ooh, wow! I can't wait to take you to your doctor's appointment, big guy.
I have benefits.
Right. Hey, how much longer did you say he has to live? A directive. Do not resuscitate. Oh no.
Let me figure that out.
I don't think he'd want to live in that state, because that would be a dingbat. Oh no, he'd want to go on the glory.
You see, but a dingbat doesn't think that far into the benefit aspect. All she sees is the bank account. That's it.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot that you said quite a bit. And I just think for me to be obsessed with somebody, if I think from a woman's point of view, as I said, y'all know me, I always talk about how I'm from the neck up. I want to hear what's on your mind, and then we could, all that other stuff will come later maybe. But as you said too, as far as me, yeah, you got to get to know me, and I want to get to know you. We should get to know each other first before we get to the obsessed part. Like, I get it, we're infatuated, like, damn, he look good, okay. But wait, hey, settle down there, okay? I'm doing all the talking, right? You get to know the guy before you want to be obsessed with him, because now, unfortunately, we get obsessed first, then find out like, I shouldn't have been. Like, what am I obsessed about?
And the body count start going up.
Yeah, so we got to get to know people before we even get to that point. So maybe it's a good thing that men, since that's the topic of conversation, aren't obsessed yet. Find out, that should be the question when you're getting to know somebody, going on a date. Should I be obsessed with her yet? Let me go out with her a couple times. Let me ask her to have a really good conversation, because as this lady said, she can't hold a conversation. Well, right there, that should be telling, especially if she's a woman. But see, there's another thing too. A lot of you very old or seasoned gentlemen, y'all like the younger women. That may not be able to hold a conversation. I don't know. All I know is about what's going on with the Hollywood Unlocked or whatever. So you get to know she can hold a conversation. I'm not saying trip her up with, how to solve world peace or nothing, but just see where she's at with current affairs. Does she know what's going on in the world? Does she know anything about Black America? Or, what does she know other than pop culture? What does she know outside of the housewives and the basketball and the love? Does she know anything outside of that? And like, I'm one of those people that really love songs, right? And I was thinking about Lady in My Life, okay? How many men actually feel, and I'm not talking about that fake stuff, you get on Facebook and writing posts. I'm talking about for real. How many people really feel like this? And I will keep you warm through the shadows of the night. Let me touch you with my love. I can make you feel so right. And baby, through the years, even when we're old and gray, I will love you more each day because you will always be the lady in my life. Y'all know that is one of my top 5 love songs, if not songs of all time, by Michael Jackson. Lady in My Life. Okay, where is the sentiment like that anymore? You know what I mean?
It's funny that you bring that up. During Vietnam, my dad got shipped to Vietnam, and he didn't know my mom was pregnant at the time, whatever. My dad thought he was a singer, whatever. Like, I think I'm a singer. He used to send my mom Smokey Robinson lyrics.
You know what's so funny?
And
that's my dad's favorite singer is Smokey Robinson.
And that's why my brother's nickname is Smokey, because that was my dad's thing. But and they don't. And you're right. Think about it right now. Now we're talking about R&B because I'm a big R&B person as well. What do these young men have to deal with now? The woman's answer song, Pound Town.
That's those women. That ain't the women like me.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying these women nowadays, Pound Town. So what is a man when he hears that this woman's like, oh yeah, girl, we're going to Pound Town and whatever else? That's what they're thinking, that this is just a boom, boom, boom. See you later.
Can I ask you a question? What is a man of some caliber even doing around women of that low ilk?
I don't know. When older women are competing with the younger women at clubs dancing to that stuff, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? It makes you wonder. But
I mean, I wouldn't be in no club with no man
or woman. She was over there talking about Pound Town and all that other.
She was there with a purpose. Okay, she's pandering. Okay, and Pound Town pandering.
Wait, but real quickly before we transition, I love that song, "Lady in My Life." They used it also in a sample for Boys to Men and LL Cool J, "Hey Lover." They used it in that sample. These are a lot of samples, actually. To me, and there's a lot of great love songs out there, but this was one of the greatest love songs, and it technically wasn't an R&B song, even though it was. "Lady" by Kenny Rogers.
Lady.
Who wrote that? Knight in shining armor, and I love you.
Didn't Lionel Richie write that?
Lionel Richie wrote that. Yes, he did.
Yes.
I mean, if you listen to the words and what he said to it, I mean, this man is actually talking to his woman and how important she is in his life. In my life.
Yes.
He just keeps like longing for her in that song.
Or he you are my lady. Yes.
Yeah, they don't make it like that.
Right. So when I think of that kind of stuff, that's what I think about as obsessed, not obsessed to the point where I care for you and all that other stuff. Just like, I just love this woman. Because when I'm in relationships, I feel like that about my man. I do. I just, I'm one of those people that will send, songs to my man. I start that off in our relationship, whatever relationship. I send a song of this. I'm thinking about you, this, that, and the other, or whatever. Like I'm that way. I guess one of those.
Nasty Girl is not a good song to sing.
Hey, it just depends on what mood you're in. You know what I'm saying? That's not off the table. That ain't off the table.
Like I said, fellas, you got to get to know her, and I'm killing those levels.
Butt naked, nasty, or nah. That's what I like. That song right there. But again, that's when you're in a relationship. Hey, you like that? Anyway, let me get. Okay, button back up here. So I guess she's right. You're right. Women got to give men something to be obsessed about, but men, make sure you should be obsessed over her before you jump in with 2 feet. My thing is, I'm one of my questions. If I was a man, well, can I see myself marrying this woman? I think you kind of know relatively soon. Like, can I see myself marrying her? Is she good wife material? That is just like a woman should be saying, is he good husband material? Now I've learned, and I like a lot of stuff I'm telling y'all I've studied. Remove money off the table. Now, when I say remove money off the table, I'm not saying he shouldn't have none. Okay, he should have something. When I say remove money off the table, remove that. He got to have 6 figures, and I remove that off the table and put onto the table characteristics. It goes back to, we talk about this a lot in regards to people, specifically parents, teaching their daughters about the knight in shining armor, that, you know, Prince Charming, all he has to do is be cute. He has a nice horse and all of that. But they don't tell their daughters that Prince Charming also has to provide, protect, respect, like they don't tell her that.
Solve.
Yeah. So those are the things that we need to think of. Is he husband material? What characteristics does this man embody before I'm gonna clean this up as much as y'all know I cuss sometimes, but I'm not. This is for educational purposes, okay? Women, before you get stigmatized, don't get to that point yet, okay? Make sure that's somebody you should be that over, you know, where you just lose all your marbles. I don't care what they do. I don't care what they say. I just love him because, you know, he's snatching your wig off in the bed. Don't get to that point yet.
And you know, and I just want to say this. Remember back in the 80s, Demetra, when you really liked the person and stuff, even the women did it. Even the girls did it. You wait to your radio station and you record your favorite song. You record the song and make your little tape, your little romantic tape, and then you save it and wait until you're ready to be with your man. And back in our day, your romantic tape wasn't about Pound Town. It was about, like, you might be kissing or, you know, whatever. And that was probably the extent of it.
When I'm with you,
yes.
I hear a song. Yeah.
Like that, you know. but I'm gonna give up the ghost real quick, because I know a lot of people ask me about you and stuff, and I tell them, don't do it. But I will tell you this, and Demetra doesn't want a lot of people to know this. If you happen to have a look similar to Big Daddy Kane in that skin tone and you can dance, that'll get Demetra looking in your direction. If you got a BDK, those sleepy eyes, and kind of, you know, you got that little thing, because her baby daddy was the BDK back in the day.
Man, in every way, shape, or form. I'm like, one day I'm gonna show y'all a picture of him when I met him back in the day. I was like, ooh, but which kind of speaks to why he was such a dog. Because I mean, the ladies just loved him. He's dark chocolate, you know, very beautiful eyes, and, you know, smooth operator.
Yep, nice skin, and he still has nice skin to this very day.
Yeah. You know, nice 6 feet. I'm just playing, you know, but he's, you know, taller than me or whatever the case is. But yeah, but I always tell people, some people say I have a type. I don't have a type, because you know why I'm telling you I don't necessarily have a type? Because I'm not one of the women that go after men. I don't approach men. Now I might say, oh, he's cute, this, that, and the other in my mind or something like that. But I don't go after men, which means I don't jump in men's inboxes. I don't. Because I'm old fashioned in that it's not my job to approach a man, because I know as a woman, when you approach a man, that's a turn off to a man. Now, even a man, I know a lot of men nowadays say, I don't care if a woman approaches me. Well, I care, because to me, I don't think that's the man's job to sit up and, you know, ooh, here I am. That's what I hear when I hear a man is being approached and he's cool with that. I don't think that's a turn on. I don't want, you know. So I like men, okay, and I like men who are thinkers. I like men who can speak well. I like men who were nice, and I love the brothers who don't cheat.
Remember, like a couple years ago, remember my friend, she was from Louisiana, and remember nice, thick, old country girl. I mean, just you know,
country grit thick.
Yeah, grit thick. I mean, she and I had history. Remember what was I complaining about with her? Remember I told you I was like,
what weren't you complaining about with her?
No. Remember I told you I would talk to
she couldn't speak about anything.
Yeah, I would talk to her about, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And she had no opinion. She was like, well, I don't know. And I'm just thinking, don't get me wrong, the intimacy was great, whatever. But you know what? At the end of the day, I was like, I can't do this. I can't be with the woman that just doesn't have anything upstairs. And that goes to tell you, and you guys, Demetra will tell you, I'm not a picky person. I really am not. I am picky, but there's a certain kind of woman that is out there. And there's a lot of women out there that I want. Unfortunately, a lot of them are married. Okay.
But yeah, you want them, brother.
Yeah, and I can't deal with them. But this woman here, I would ask her certain things and, just anything, just talk about anything intelligent. And she couldn't do it. And I just said, I had to let it go. As fine as this woman was and whatever, I had to let it go because I need more substance than just the physical essence of a woman. And a lot of men of my ilk are like that. We need more than just the typical, and I'm not calling her dingbat.
Right. Yeah, I remember you saying that about her. She couldn't hold a conversation, didn't have an opinion about anything. Yeah, that's very annoying. I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't spend too much time with a person like that at all. Because y'all know me, I'm a conversationalist. I can have a conversation with somebody I just met in 30 seconds, and we gonna be, having a great conversation. So I'm not, and I can lead a conversation, okay. But I don't want to ever have to be doing most of the talking. Like, yeah, so yeah, I want to have a back and forth, and some people are just naturally shy. I'm just not one of them, so I need to be able to have a conversation with somebody, as I like to talk. That to me is the crux of life, is to be able to have a great conversation with people
and get a different perspective of things. Like I said, I don't deny I'm a chauvinist, but I think I'm a chauvinist in the right way. But like I said, I talk to Demetra, I talk to other people to get a different perspective. Do you really think I'm an asshole? And they give me their honest opinion. I don't give a damn if they call me an asshole, but at least I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. But yeah, no. So obsessed, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I know one thing. I'm gonna be obsessed with myself. Okay, that's why. Because I feel like this. If you obsessed with yourself, and I'm not talking about in a bad way, but if you love yourself, you're obsessed with yourself, then all that other stuff, will be added on to you. Because one thing I know about humans is they're attracted to people who feel like they are something, right? They got a little bit of something going on, and you love yourself, and people are attracted to that person. They want to get to know you and stuff. So.
And then I'm gonna tell Demetra's not gonna say this. Maybe some of you guys have saw the show. She has a lot of admirers, and I'm gonna tell those admirers: be persistent. Be persistent. I've been going after her sister for 30 years. 30 years. One day she's gonna get 80.
Yeah, hey, Sonny, can you pass me my insure? Can you get my cane?
I need my insulin.
Yeah. Get right there. Don't miss. It's been a minute. You haven't changed my diaper.
One day her sister's going to turn 80, and what other choice is she going to have at that point?
Right. Put my legs up, but to change my diapers. Hey, Daddy, how you doing? I'm sure my daddy watching.
But the key is persistence.
Keep hope alive. And then if that don't work, maybe there's a chance for you in the afterlife, maybe as a ghost.
But here's what I found out though, Demetra. You be persistent, right? And a lot of women respect that. Like, hey man, this guy's, if it's unrealistic, it's unrealistic. But the thing is, I found out when other women see that you're persistent, that might be the woman for you. Because when women see that you're determined to do this, and let's say it's not working out, Demetra's sister gets married, they go, oh man, yeah, you loved her for a long time, and I've been watching you pursue her and stuff like that. There's a lot of women that be like, wow, this guy's really, he's got the traits that I want. So like I said, you never know what God brings you in the end for being, faithful in your pursuit.
You never know. You never know. So anyway, let's get on to our next topic. Now, this one I saw got kind of popular, I guess, on TikTok. And I'll let her tell y'all. Okay, so let me find it. Let's see. Is this it? Oh, I think this is it here. Nope, not that one. All right, I'm gonna let her tell y'all. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so the mister wanted me to come and meet him real quick. And I'm like, so not a date. All right, we can meet at the casino. Baby, this is it. Some dirty ass Uggs. My hair not done. My nails not done. I'm not getting cute. I'm not getting pretty. I'm not doing this for y'all no more. Y'all don't want to pay for a date. I'm not wasting my NARS makeup. I pay too much money to be cute for you to want to just not. No date, no cuteness. This is. How you doing? Am I by myself with this or what? Because he wanted to meet me after church, and I went to church. I came home, makeup off, and that's it. Because I didn't even do my nails this week. The feet is done. My feet is cute, but I didn't feel like doing my nails. This is gonna be it. From now on, I'm not getting cute for these men no more.
Wow. So I looked on her page. I don't know if she was married. I don't know if she's still married, but she said these men. So I don't know if she's going on a date or what. But Donovan.
First of all, I'm going to say this. You can see that this woman is naturally beautiful. She's naturally beautiful. If you look at, outside of the blemishes, we all got blemishes, whatever.
Totally agree with you.
Right. She's naturally beautiful. I understand her frustration. However, when you're a single woman, it is not a man's job to maintain your femininity. Let me say your assets to your femininity. It's not our job until we cuff you up, whatever they say, whatever the deal is. So I would say this. A lot of men, we are visual. And if you don't come a certain way, like you expect us to come a certain way, like sometimes, okay. And Brother Phil said this on his show. A lot of people ask, like, why do you always sometimes wear a jacket? I wear a jacket because I want to appear to you guys respectful and decent and halfway, whatever. The first appearance is the best appearance. Now, I can see the woman is naturally beautiful, right? But that appearance of coming looking kind of like frumpy and stuff like that, that would turn me off as a man in the aspect of, you're not doing anything for me. Yes, I see your natural beauty, but you're kind of being disrespectful in relation to, here I'm coming with my best foot forward. You should come with your best foot forward and just the benefit of the doubt. She could do that for a man that, she's pissed off at and she knows, but when you're meeting this guy, whatever, you should do that. So ladies, in my opinion, there's no excuse for you to stop being a woman. There's no excuse for that. There's just none. Your first appearance is your best appearance. If you went to a job interview, would you show up like that? Isn't it amazing for the white man, you would show up booted up and scooted up, but then for your own personal life, you won't do the same, but you expect a certain result. So, again, I can see that woman given her enhancement. That's a natural, a beautiful woman. It's just really unfortunate today that both of us, men and women, are so frustrated with each other that we've just decided to just check out. And that's not the answer to anything. You just can't quit. You just got to keep going on. Demetra, as beautiful as she is, and fellas, natural BBL, I'm going to tell you, it's a natural BBL. She's had it since high school. Natural. You just can't give up. I mean, she still puts her best foot forward. I mean, she's still out there when you see her. She's approachable. You can still do those things. It'll come, but you just don't give up and just lock yourself up. You just can't do that. So it's unfortunate that women are getting frustrated like that. However, it's not the end of the world.
To me, I thought it was funny because she was more or less like, I guess maybe he wanted to go to the casino. And she's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to put together this ain't no date. So she's basically saying, y'all don't want to go on real dates or spend no money on no dates. So I'm just going to show up like this. But my thing is, I'm just not going to show up. If I feel like you're not putting forth the effort, to go on this date with me, then I'm just going to say, you know what? You're a very lovely guy. However, I'm going to pass or whatever the case is. Because I agree with her. There are some instances where guys are just like, I'm just going to throw the t-shirt on and just go out the house. And that's cute if you're around the yard or whatever. But if you're a grown man, and I agree with you and Brother Phil, y'all should, care. And I agree with Brother Phil. I wear t-shirts every once in a while, maybe like in the summer, but even it's rare because I agree with you. Not that I feel like I'm the authority, but when people are watching us from this end, we should put forth some effort. Because I see, in no shade to anybody, it's your business. You do what you want. Listen, I'm not knocking anybody, but sometimes I do see women with bonnets on. They can come on the internet, didn't really put forth the effort to do anything or whatever. And I just kind of feel like if I'm asking people to watch me, I should be presentable, because beauty is honestly in the eye of the beholder. There's a lot of people watching may not think I'm cute, and that's fine. That's not my objective. My objective is to be decent. My objective is I might come on here one day with something cute to cover my head if I don't feel like covering it. That'd be rare. But the point that I'm making is I think people are old in effort. That when they click on this video, they see us looking like we care. Like, oh gosh, let me fire up this thing and get on here. I think they should see that. But back to this video, I mean, I wouldn't even went because first of all, I agree with you. She's very beautiful naturally, but the whole presentation was, double birds in the air. F him. This is what he wants. I'm gonna give it to him. I probably would rarely even go to the mailbox look like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just think you just have to say, well, if I'm going out with somebody who causes me to feel less beautiful, or as she said, her NARS makeup, which is a very expensive brand of makeup, she says, I'm not wasting that. I'm just gonna go like this. But the other thing is, I think she's kind of being spiteful because she said she left from church, went home and took everything off and put on, she said, her dirty Uggs, which if you've seen some, I don't like Uggs, okay, but she put on some dirty ones, ran up to the casino looking like something that the cat drug in. So I think she was being a little bit spiteful of that, but I just wouldn't have went.
It's just sad that we're getting to this point. And ladies, trust me, a good man, I'm not even gonna say a real man, a good man, we recognize the effort that you guys put in to be presentable to us. And, because the whole thing of dating is marriage. I mean, you're not dating just to date, are you? A lot of people you want a final outcome, right? So, me, I appreciate the effort that you put in and stuff like that. Some people will say, like, sometimes, like, I have my baseball hat on. A reason why, and let me give you guys a good look. It's a quick thing. You look at the logo behind me. That's the logo that we go on, that you see the hat and it looks similar. So that is where the thing is. Like I said, I have no problem exposing the hair. I have no problem doing that. But that's the thing. You want to be presentable, like you said, in a professional manner, and it's more of a respect for the audience. But ladies, yeah, I and trust me, I sympathize with you guys because it's rough out there. Like, my point is this, Demetra, do you know how all the time I'm always going in on the women and how they're dressed and how they're this and how they're that? Do you know the one thing I forget? I keep forgetting? The men. You've got men that are our age that are still dressing like they're 16 and 17 years old. Now, entertainers is one thing, but 50 Cent puts on a suit every now and then. These rappers that are doing this, we always single out the women for dressing like this and looking like Sexy Red and doing all this other stuff. But we don't ever talk about how the men are dressed. See, so us as men, we see these kids running around with their pants sagging and stuff. That's something that we started. We never admonish the men because sometimes I will be out in places. Demetra, we were out in a couple places, and you see men that were my age, if not older, T-shirts, khakis, and tennis shoes. You're in your 40s. Why are you still dressing like that? And then we have the nerve to talk about how the young kids are dressing. Well, you're not dressing like a man. So, we've got to change that whole aspect. So the next time that I go on a rant about how women are dressing, remind me to point out the fact that you've got men that are my age and older that are still dressing hip hop. It's like, dude, you're 60 years old. The rapping career, it didn't take off. It didn't take off.
And that's okay sometimes, but like if you're going out on a date or something like that, it's like you don't have nothing that's a little bit spiffy in the closet at all, I don't know. I tell you all the time, and y'all see how I dress. I'm one of those people, when I go out,
your hands are showing.
Right. I'd say 90% of the time, I don't want to say dressed up because I kind of dress like that all the time. Sometimes I might have on, a sweat outfit or something like that. If I'm going somewhere that requires me maybe to do a lot of walking or not to be as dressed up, I'll do that. But I'm always gonna be presentable. I'm not going, with the exception, the 10% is if I'm at the gym. I put up my gym pictures all the time. So yeah, because I don't go to the gym to be cute. I go to the gym to sweat and work out, And then usually I'll come back home unless maybe the store is right next door and then I'll run in there real quick or whatever the case is. But I try to be presentable, just because you never know who is watching you, who you may influence or any of that kind of stuff. If I'm hanging out with somebody and they're not dressed, that might be their best. I don't know. But I'm gonna dress my best. I'm gonna smell good. I'm gonna look good, and I'm gonna feel good. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's just
right.
me.
But at the same time, ladies, you need to admonish the men that you're with. How many times have we gone to clubs or been to things and you see the woman dressed beautiful? Oh my God, it looks
I
like
totally agree with you.
it's Golden Globe. And then the dude she's with looked like he just rolled out of the six foe drinking a 40 with his homies. You know what
I
I mean?
totally agree. I totally agree. If I had a man, I don't, and we went out and he was dressed at what I would consider subpar, I would say, hey, baby, you have something else you could put on? If not, let's go to the store and see what we could put together. I mean, even with my male friends, I mean, Donovan here, when we was in Tokyo, he was, I don't want that, because I like to see men dressed up nice. Like if I go to the department store and I see an outfit, I'm like, damn, that would look good on a man. I wish I had one, or whatever the case is. And so other male friends, they'll ask my advice about what, to wear this, that, and the other. I'm like, oh, surely you're not going to wear that, are you? So I'll give them, suggestions or whatever, because I know what I like a man to look like. And that comes from me. I'm having a father and my stepfather, he was a dresser as well. My brothers, they could dress, they like to put on suits.
Walter is never found without a sports jacket on somewhere.
Yeah, or even a suit if he's going somewhere. He's ready now. When he's settling down a little bit, he might dress down a little, but he's still gonna have on some slacks, a polo, and so he gonna be dressed nice or whatever. And my younger brother, oh, that's a fashion dude right there. He like name brand stuff. He get it on the low, but he like name brand stuff. So I know what good men dressed up looks like. I have a copious amount of examples from that. So I know what I like to see men in. And ain't nothing wrong with a man wearing some jeans. Back in the day, we used to say tight buns and 501s. We used to say that kind of stuff. But do you have a jacket to go over it if we're going somewhere, or some hard bottom shoes or whatever?
But let me ask you this real quick. When a person dresses up, and ladies, and this is important, if you're really listening to this program, it's very important, because unfortunately, a lot of us, we just don't know. Like I said, when you're a woman and you're raised with your mom and your dad's not there, and your uncles, whatever, living their lives, you're not getting the information. You got sons or whatever. When you dress like you have some money, or you dress up a little bit, your attitude completely changes. It completely. We went to, what was that thing called, LA Confidential with Regina King.
Oh yeah.
And people were over there. They were dressed. Some people weren't dressed, but most part, everybody was kind of business casual, doing what they got to do. Mm-hmm. But you're in there mixing with those type of people. It makes you feel like you are in an atmosphere that you're supposed to be there. And let's say you're not supposed to be there, but you're dressed for the part, and so you have no. The endomorphins in your brain, it just does something to you, because you don't feel dirty. You feel rich. You feel this. You feel that. And ladies, it's important to empower your man. If you got a man with you, empower him to be the best that he can be. Honey, yeah, like you said, hey, put the sports jacket on and do this, whatever. I don't care if you're going to an interview to KFC. The first thing they do is they're looking at you in your appearance and stuff like that to get the job. You can't come there with a t-shirt and khakis and expect to get the job. You might get the job, but the point is, you want to make a good appearance. But ladies, I think one of the biggest problems that we have in our community is that we don't empower each other. We just don't do it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So yeah, I mean, as far as she's concerned, and y'all know, I talk about time as a woman, I'm always going to be on top of my game. What my goal is, not necessarily, but sometimes it is. Whenever I go somewhere, I want to turn heads. Every time I go somewhere, somebody compliments me on how I look, and I'm gonna dress like that. If I'm going into a room with nobody, I'm gonna dress like that anyway. But like I said, you don't know who's watching you, who you're inspiring, because I come up from the women of yesterday, who dressed. I have a picture on my mirror. So when y'all notice, whenever I take a picture and I post it, that's a small picture in the corner is my grandmother in the 40s. A picture of my grandmother, and she had on gloves, a nice little hat and the dress and the purse. That was every day.
Was that every day? Because I thought that was like a debutante picture of her or something.
No, that's how they dressed every day, boo boo. When they went out the house, even if they was going up the street, they dressed like they was going somewhere because they felt important. And you got to remember, my grandmother there, she was born in 1927, I think it was, somewhere around there. My dad's grandma in 1919, so they weren't that far off of slavery, and that area is Jim Crow. So they didn't have the means all the time to dress up and all of that. So around the 40s and the 30s and stuff, the Harlem Renaissance in the 20s, they were really being able to do those things. And so they took pride in dressing up and looking presentable and looking nice, because that look there was for white women. They were the ones that could afford to do all that. And so our women just really took that and they took it to the next level, but somewhere fell off. Because now, as I say, you go to Walmart, you see a woman in her chicken frying dress, and a bonnet. So I know for me, part of it is paying homage to my mom and my grandmothers. Now, y'all know why I wear red lipstick. I like the way it looks, but I wear red lipstick because my mom was darker than me, and she was told when she was a youth, you too black and to wear red lipstick, and you got your lips are too big to wear red lipstick. So she said when she got an adult, she would wear it. So that's why I wear it. And I've always wanted really to pay homage to her for whoever told my mom that, because I've had women say that to me too. And believe it or not, it's been women said that I look like a whore, all kind of stuff because I'm wearing, red lipstick. And it's funny to me, but it's like, wow, we still on that? That's what we doing?
Yep, we're still doing it. And then I want to say this to the ladies that have young sons. I know you want to, dress the kid up looking hood and everything and, whoever. But when you look at other cultures, especially here in California, at least where I'm from, Demetra, how many times when you see a Hispanic kid and they're going to their quinceañeras or they're going to the baptisms or something, the little kids, they got the little suits for the kids.
So cute.
And the kids are dressed up with their nice little haircuts and stuff, and they're going to get their a wedding or whatever they're doing. And I noticed that in our community, we don't dress our little boys up like, so they have some kind of sense of,
we used to do it a lot. Right. Yeah.
Because when I was coming up, I had my little church outfit and things like that. But no, we think, give them the little Jordans. And don't get me wrong, the Jordans are expensive. You give them the this and you give them the that. And, and he looks hood. He looks just like a teenager or older kid. But is that really appropriate for where he's going? Because now when I see the Hispanic even the young teenagers in my area, and they're going to an event, they got their little tight little mariachi pants on and their little jacket, and they just know how to dress the part. And it's just like, why is it that we have lost the art?
Because especially with the men, the boys need to start seeing men dressed like that. As I said, my father, Nation of Islam, my dad always wears a suit. It's to the point now when we're going like on a cruise or something, Daddy, you ain't got to wear a suit. Bring one and we're going to go to the captain's dinner or something like that. But, we just walking around, we chilling. Daddy, you can dress down a little nice shirt or whatever. We really have to talk them into doing that. So these boys, nowadays, they got to see the men doing that, but the men ain't doing that. They daddies is what, and there's nothing wrong with the Jordans, because I know you're going to pay a pretty penny for those. But the boys aren't seeing their dads dressed up. The boys are seeing their dads dressed like them. Where is the line of demarcation that this is the father and this is the son? There is none. They both are dressed alike. And so my daughter would tell you, and I get on her nerves a lot. I say, okay, let's bump it up a notch or two, when you dress up. Because my daughter, she likes a lot of different things, but I'm telling her now, okay, because my daughter doesn't look her age. She looks a lot younger. So I'm telling her these things like, okay, let's get you a nice heel. Let's get you this, that, and the other, just kind of switch it up a little bit, make you look a little bit older. I'm going to tell you something. My daughter and we went to Walmart the other day, and we always, dress when we go places. And she had her hair curled, and she had a boot with a heel on. And when I tell you, the brothers was, oh, I like your shoes. And I say, now you see there, you see the difference.
Yeah,
just
right. He was looking at the shoe, right? Go
right.
ahead.
She had like, her nice little jeans on. I ain't talking about the jeans we walk around town. I'm talking about her grown woman jeans on. And they was that turning heads and complimenting her and stuff. I said, now you see, you just turned it up just a bit. I'm like, I'm gonna give me a son-in-law yet. I'm gonna give me a son-in-law.
Right. Now, and real quick, remember last year, I was talking to my brother, and he said, "Hey, my nephew grew. He grew exponentially. My nephew's 15 years old. He's 6'1", right?" And I asked my nephew, "Hey, you got a suit?" Because your dad was asking me if you had a suit. My nephew was like, "No, I don't have a suit. Whatever deals, because he grew. He had a little suit when he was younger, but he outgrew him." I said, "Well, we had to explain this to him." I said, "Look, as a young man, you must always have a suit ready in case something, a funeral or something like this." So we go down to the garment district. His dad told me to get him 2 suits. 2. You always want a dark color suit for funerals and stuff like that, be it blue, be it black, be it brown, whatever. You want a dark colored suit for things like that. And then you want like a suit that you could kind of just chill and whatever. The boy was, because he's not used to it. He's just resistant. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." I said, "Look, we get down there, custom made. It's a suit custom, whatever the deal is. They customize it, whatever." And next thing you know, he's doing a photo shoot.
Right. They're just that switch, just like that. Just that quick.
Just like that. And like I said, we don't expect the ladies to really know this type of stuff, but this is the stuff that we've got. Like you said, I put a lot of emphasis, and I thought about it. I'm always talking about the women, but I never point out the men and the
let me
boys.
tell y'all something about Donovan. Y'all don't ever see Donovan in a suit, but like on here. But Donovan got some suits for your ass, especially the one that you got made with all of you when you wear all of your bars, and he got so many bars, and
my military stuff. When I do my military,
man. When they say ain't nothing like a man in a suit, especially when he got his military suit on. Donovan is a head turner, and he got so many of those bars, he can't even fit them on the damn jacket. Yeah, he's got them all over. But so Donovan knows his stuff when it comes to dressing, So that's important. Boys, they gotta see that. If they don't see their uncle, their daddy, and them dress like that, they like, well, like I said, you believe in a lot of conversation with a man like, I don't like cufflinks. I'm like, I thought that was standard gear for a man in a suit. Cufflinks. You don't own no cufflinks, boo-boo? I like
especially the cufflinks that like might be gold or diamond, or if you got the little insignia in them or something like that, man.
Maybe I'm telling my age. I don't know. Maybe I don't make cufflinks no more. I don't know. Maybe I'm telling my age.
But I do want you and everybody that's listening, when I get on the women about their appearance, please remind me about the men, because we got to admonish the men, because again, I can't blame young men that don't know. If they've been dressing up in Jordans and t-shirts because that's where their mother has raised them to do that, it's their fault, but it's our fault as men. It's our fault. You should have at least one suit, because and another good thing is, and the reason why I bring that to thing, my grandmother, when she passed away, me and my brother were the oldest grandkids. 65 of us. 65 grandkids. Okay. And some of us have died, So 65 of us are alive. And I looked at some of my cousins that showed up at the funeral. I was so embarrassed because they showed up in t-shirts and, just everyday clothes. And you're like, you don't even have a jacket to put on or anything. And this comes from the life of mama loving the boys and teaching the girls. The girls were all dressed, in whatever they, girls were dressed. But you see these guys like, man, did you just come from around the corner?
Some of them probably did.
and you're right, they did. And this is what we've got to change as men. So if you're an uncle out there and you got nephews that the father's not involved, you get involved. My brother had to call me because it wasn't really my responsibility. And he asked me, he goes, hey, does AJ have any suits? I said, yeah, but it was a suit when he was little. This kid grew like 5 inches and whatever. You always have to have a suit available. Now he's at the age he wants to get a job. And I told him, I said, AJ, trying to explain how the suit works. I said, you get a suit where you could do it in combo. You don't always have to wear the whole ensemble. You could just wear the jacket with your jeans. These are things that fathers need to be teaching the sons. You can't expect the mothers to know this stuff. The fathers and the uncles need to step in and teach these kids how to dress. We really do. These prom pictures, the girls are dressed like they're going to the club. Then you see the boys, high waters with the sock. It's like that one time they might dress the way their mother wants them to dress, and then it's like, okay, well, now what?
And and I know some people don't like cologne or perfume, but just a little bit, just a. I wear perfume and every day, even if I never leave the house. I like right now I'm wearing some Coco Chanel Mademoiselle. It's one of my favorite. Not because I'm around other people, but because I want to smell good and all that. But there's nothing wrong with that. My dad's favorite scent has always been since I was a child was Aramis. Okay, Aramis this, Aramis that. That's the first cologne that I ever knew.
Love your mama wild. Okay.
Right. But that's the first cologne that I knew a man to wear was Aramis. I remember my dad would go to the department store. He would take us with us. When he ran out, he went and got him some more. He knew where to go to get him some Aramis. So, I don't know.
A quick question, Demetra. Have you ever been in a place, and I'm glad you brought that point up, because that's important. You ever been in a place and a guy passes you and you get a whiff of his cologne and you're like, ooh. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It works, fellas, I'm telling you, it works. It works. Just put a little cologne on and some of you would be like, ooh.
Wait a minute, let me give you some. Let me just wash your ass first. Because ain't nothing like putting some cologne over some funk. Because I can smell that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. But I remember I went to an event, and you know when you meet people and you're hugging them, even the older ladies are hugging them. I remember I was hugging this one older lady, and she hugged me harder. She's like, ooh, I love your cologne. In my ear, I was like this.
I mean, I have stopped men before and say, I'm sorry. What are you wearing? And they'll, tell me or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. My daughter's father, oh gosh, it was something about Liz Claiborne. It slips my mind what it was, but woo, that's probably why we got a daughter. Liz Claiborne. Oh, I can't think of it, but oh my God, it just smells so good. So I'm one of those women. I love to smell a man's cologne.
Just like men, we love to smell women with their perfume on. Mm-hmm. I mean, ladies, I know I'm hard on you guys, whatever, but like, again, what you guys like is opposite of what we like. I mean, we like what you guys like as well. We want you to smell good and look good and be feminine and all that other stuff. But fellas, especially you young dudes, I have to tell my nephew this. These young teenagers running around with a backpack full of like cologne and mints and all this other stuff. And I said, look, are you, they have gym, right? These kids don't even shower at the gym anymore.
And one thing I say, right.
I'm like, dude, you got to shower. This ain't going to work if you keep doing,
My ex, my most recent ex, now his cologne game was strong. I'm telling you, he was like Givenchy, really now, Burberry, Gucci. Like his cologne game was strong. Like he knew all the scents and stuff. And when we first got together, he would get me nice stuff. I got the Coco Chanel from him. Anybody who knows me knows that is probably my favorite scent. I've gotten it for birthday gifts. My nephew, he bought it for me one year, and then the last bottle I got.
Yeah. So basically, if you smell Coco Chanel, look for Demetra. She's probably in the room somewhere.
Yeah, that's the head turner right there. Like, what are you wearing? But y'all know I told y'all about the new stuff I got now.
We saw the bottle. Yes.
That's next level right there. Y'all ain't ready for that.
But and a lot of people don't, like I said, it's so sad that we don't have it in our community. We're not teaching these things, because even in the heat of passion, to me, when I'm with the woman in an intimate setting and she has her thing on, and it just enhances it a little bit better. You're like, this is just awesome.
And I want to say too, because I just heard somebody say this as I said that, I do have some Black designers as well as far as perfume. Fenty. My daughter actually bought it, and I'm like, oh, we're going to share that. So, Fenty. And I would love to get more scents from Black designers. Beyonce, only reason I don't have Beyonce is because you can't sample it anywhere. She want $150 for hers. It's like, nah, sis, I need to be able to smell it before I make that kind of investment. My daughter got Tyler, the Creator, he's got a he's a rapper. He's got a perfume, and she bought a little sample, and I was like, yeah, I'm glad you got just a little bit of that one, cause
And
yeah.
ladies, Christmas, birthdays, because a lot of men don't keep up on our cologne game unless you're like your ex and stuff like that. You're really into it. Perfect gift. It doesn't cost a lot. Maybe some do, but 25, 30, $50. Just something like that. It's appreciated. It really is.
And this, like, because I know a lot of people ask me about my lipsticks, so I do have some Fenty. This is a Fenty red. Fenty is Rihanna, by the way.
Yeah. Did you get that from Sephora?
Yeah, I go to Sephora. Yeah, shop at Sephora. So I do. The reason why I'm telling y'all this is because I do. If I'm gonna spend some money on white brands, I'm definitely gonna give some of my people some money as well. So I hope that helps. But anyway, we don't have time for the other one. It wasn't a big deal anyway. We'll get into it at another time. But we'll be back tonight. Donovan, you want to talk about politics, or you want to talk about something else?
Well, we got to really get into the politics because Joe Biden went down to the AME Church in South Carolina, and he talked about everything but Black issues. He actually said that he started the civil rights movement. Came out of his mouth.
The man ain't in his right mind no more, but he was lying even before he got there. So that's not a surprise. So yeah, I do have a clip about that. Also want to talk about it said Trump is geared to be the first Republican president in history to get the most Black voters. It was something else too. We're going to talk about Fani Willis. She finds herself in a little bit of hot water. So I'm going to try to get to all those topics as well. Somebody else wanted me to share some recipes with them. So don't let me forget that stuff as well. So we got a loaded show tonight. But nevertheless, we are going to talk about politics. So we'll see y'all at 5 o'clock Central, PM Central time. So in the meantime, y'all be good. Peace.